Welcome to Discover the Duncan Difference, a Duncan Financial Group podcast. Discussions in the show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Duncan Financial Group are not affiliated. Welcome back to Discover the Duncan Difference. Today I have Tyler Harkins with us. He works in our personal insurance department, and we're going to talk about all of the things, how he got here, who he is, and what he does. So, Tyler, let's get started right off the bat. Tell me a little bit about yourself, business-wise, but also just personal.
Okay, so whichever way you want me to start, I can definitely go personal.
Let's get personal.
I am 29. I'll be 30 this year, which I'm not very excited about, but
I feel you. Your 30s are your best, I promise.
Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. I graduated from Fraser High School, so I'm from Fayette County, and I married my wife in 2020. We have one kid. We have another little boy on the way. Our boy's name's Owen, and he is 2. Coming through the business end of everything, I started actually right out of high school. I worked at a pizza shop in high school.
Oh, really?
Came out of that and made it to a general manager position within Fox's Pizza Den in Uniontown. Left there whenever I finally decided to go into the financial end of things because I did a lot of things on the side. I did roofing, stone, veneer and pavers. I did a lot of different concrete work and things like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then went into banking.
Okay.
How that even transpired, I don't know.
Yeah, what got you in there?
I found it on Indeed and actually applied.
Yeah.
And wound up liking the financial end of things. But banking just wasn't really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. It got me working with numbers, got me doing things like that, but wasn't what I wanted. And I saw an ad for a job on Indeed again and went and worked for a captive agency.
Okay.
And
how long were you there for?
I was actually only with the captive agency for a little over a year.
Okay.
Pushing 2 years, somewhere in that range. And the only reason I loved that job, I actually really liked what I did. I liked insurance. I knew I wanted to be in insurance. I just couldn't deal with the fact that we were a one company organization. That's really all it was. If you got a rate increase, if you got anything like that, there wasn't anything I could do besides minimize coverages or try to look through and see if there's anything we could do to eliminate coverages to lower your bill.
But you only have one option.
And you only have one option. I couldn't go anywhere else. So
that's hard.
Yeah.
So what I'm curious, I actually don't know the answer to this question. How did you get to Duncan? Like what brought you here?
David Lang.
Oh, really?
Actually,
awesome. Love David Lang.
Yeah, David Lang's known me since I was born.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he grew up with my mom.
Gosh, that's so cool.
So whenever I was down in Deep Creek, we have a place in Deep Creek, same place as him.
That's crazy.
So we were down there, and he found out that I was in insurance, said something to me. He's like, "Why haven't you applied at Duncan?" And I said, "Well," and I actually forgot about it for months.
Yeah.
And then I saw a posting and wound up applying.
Sold.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how long have you been at Duncan?
Coming up on July 6th will be 3 years.
Awesome. Okay, so my next question, you did banking, you got into insurance. What do you love about insurance?
So the insurance end of it that I like the most actually is just dealing with people. It was the same way in banking that I liked in the banking world. I like dealing with the public. I like dealing with people, actually gaining a knowledge of the ins and outs of their household, things like that, what they do. I just like talking. I think that's really all there is to it.
Relationships. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, or as my wife will tell you, I just like to talk, which is very true.
Hey, it's good for somebody in insurance.
Which is very true.
Yeah.
So that is the part that I like, though. I like really gaining the relationship, knowing the people that I work with. Within the agency and my clients more than anything. I like knowing the ins and outs of your household. I like knowing when your kids are going to graduate from high school. I just like that end of it. I like the relationship end of it that you can build with people in the insurance world. You could do it in banking too.
Right.
It was just a different atmosphere moving over into insurance, because insurance is something that changes constantly. Like you move into a new home, it's a whole different list of exposures.
Yeah, absolutely.
In banking was the same old thing.
Yeah.
You got an overdraft fee, you got an overdraft fee. That's all there was to it.
Yeah. So. Okay, so explain, like I'm a kindergartner, what you do, like what your job entails.
Okay. So in the personal insurance world, there are people that take accounts and service them. Essentially, you have a vehicle change, you have things like that. You call in, you talk to them, they give you the new premium with the new vehicle that you bought and everything along those lines. My role as a producer in the department, I take in all of the new client opportunities that we have. I go to different networking events, things of that nature, to go make some outbound calls from previous clients. Take in all of your information, really get to know your household, put together the quotes for you, send it out, and go over everything. Go through it, make sure you're actually covered the way you should be, go over why I quoted things the way I did.
Right.
So I'm in charge of setting up your insurance package.
Yeah. And what's awesome about that is, like, a lot of people don't realize things that they need covered or that they weren't covered for previously. So can you talk a little bit about that, like things that people don't realize that they need covered, or that they maybe have underinsured?
So insurance is ever changing, especially over the past couple of years. But to even go back a little bit farther, about 8-9 years ago, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, give or take, there were different coverages that started coming out that were never covered under insurance.
Okay.
Water backup coverage used to be insured. It used to be called flood. Yeah. You had water backup through your floor drains, it was flood. It just wasn't covered. Yeah. There's coverage offered for that now. If you
it's like an extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's what we call an endorsement.
Yes.
That's added on to your insurance package. That one, there's service line coverage. Those two are two of the bigger ones that you have. The service line coverage is all of your underground lines from the street shutoff to the outside of your house, to the foundation of your home. All of that underground, your gas, your water, your sewage, none of that was covered prior.
Yeah.
And you could cover it through the utility companies, but if you didn't know that,
then you not covered.
You just didn't have it.
Yeah.
You had an $8,000 bill if water started shooting up through the middle of your yard.
Right.
So
okay, this is actually so good to know for me personally, because I'm like, maybe I need to go check my insurance, because do I have that covered? But that's something that you make sure that our people have covered, because that happens.
Yeah, it does. It happens.
And that's when you need it to be covered, because we've met with ServPro, and they say so often, that there is that backup, the drain, the sewage. I mean, and that is nasty and bad. And if you're not covered, it can be very expensive very quick. Very
quickly. Just you brought up ServPro, just that part of it, just to get it cleaned up, fans in there, get the smell out of there, get everything. That part is not cheap. Yeah. Just in general. Yeah. Not to mention the items that are damaged during it.
Yeah.
So if you have a finished basement, which a lot of people in southwestern PA do, I do.
Yeah, I do.
It's necessary. It's a necessity in that aspect. There are situations where it's just not.
Right.
But
it doesn't make sense.
That's the whole point in the conversation. That's the whole point in what we do and why we do it the way we do, is because we need to know, is this coverage necessary? Should we charge you the extra $100 a year, or should we not? Is it not necessary to do? And that's the whole point in looking at the full picture of what you have and why we're recommending certain coverages for you. Up till a certain time, 8-9 years ago, maybe, like I said, maybe a little bit more, this stuff was not covered.
Yeah.
So if you're in a program that was that old, I don't even know if it can be added on. There were certain captive agencies that were able to add it on, or certain companies within independent agencies that could. But there were also others that you were grandfathered into an old product. Yeah. You can't add these new coverages. Yeah. So it's worth looking at.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting. Is there any other thing that you would say that people kind of forget or wouldn't know about unless their insurance agent is like on it?
The biggest thing on auto end, I will go to the auto insurance end of things, is the limited and full tort.
Yes.
That is one of the biggest
Somebody explaining that to you is like, holy crap, too much information.
It is actually terrible.
Yeah.
The state of PA is one of man, my coworkers go over this all the time. It's 3 or 4 states that we offer the limited tort option. Other than that, states don't even offer it.
Okay.
So they require full tort. It is your ability to sue in the event of an accident, which is the most broad way that I can say it. We can go through it more in depth down, whenever we go into it.
Yeah.
But essentially, even attorneys and things of that nature in the state of PA are hesitant to take cases with people with limited tort.
Yeah.
By all means, you can still do it. I had limited tort for a while. Sometimes it's the most cost-effective option.
Right.
And it's what you need to do for the time being, or just in that stage of your life that you're in.
Yeah. Right.
You have to prove serious injury in that aspect whenever you do choose limited tort, which some people are completely fine with, and that is fine.
Yeah.
It's just coverage understanding. We want you to understand why you have it or why you don't.
Yeah. And we'll walk you through each part of that and what we think is what's best for you. And then people can make that option. They can choose that. If you have presented them with, hey, I think you should do this, and they're like, well, I want to save the money, they can do that. But you've had that conversation so they are educated and understand each part of it.
By all means. That's all we want. We just want you to be understanding of what you have and why you have it.
Right.
We're not and I don't want to throw out names, but we're not a price cutting agency or anything like that you give me a quote and I'm not going to quote you state minimum coverage and give you limited tort.
That's not what we're here for.
And not tell you this is what I did.
Here's a steal. We packaged up all nice for you.
You aren't covered the way you should be.
Yeah.
You're not protecting your assets. That's the other end of it that you go through. If you start getting into an older age, you have a lot of assets to protect. You're coming up close on retirement. Your home's almost paid off. That's a huge asset.
Yeah.
We offer umbrella policies. Umbrella policies are very necessary for people in those situations. Whenever you're younger, first starting out, maybe it's not as necessary.
Right.
But when you have assets to protect, you want to protect them.
Yes.
And obviously we'd go through that more in depth during the review, but there is a reason for umbrella policies, and I don't think there's enough agencies or agents themselves out there going over that.
Can you explain to me what an umbrella policy is?
Yeah. So it is a liability policy that literally the name of the umbrella makes complete sense. It umbrellas over everything you have. So your auto, your home, your secondary homes, motorcycles, jet skis, boats, whatever it is, it covers the extended liability. So if you have an incident to where, I don't know, you're pulling through a parking lot and someone steps out in front of you, you're supposed to be in control of that vehicle at all times.
Right.
It's going to be on you. They can then sue you, pain and suffering, lost income, all of those things. Most auto insurance is covered for about $250,000 per person. A lot of the time, those lawsuits, those things can go well above and beyond that.
Yeah.
An umbrella policy would cover that extended liability.
So they can't come after your assets.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so let's get into the more difficult things. What is a pain point right now in personal insurance? I know that in both commercial and personal insurance, rates are up. You're seeing things that we really have never seen before, at least not in our lifetime. So can you touch a little bit on that and why we're experiencing those things?
Definitely. I mean, rate increases are a major, major, major issue across the board right now. We are seeing them everywhere. It doesn't matter what carrier you're with. It doesn't matter if you haven't had an accident.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things that we do here right now is I've had no claims. I've had no incidents. I haven't used the insurance. No, you haven't. And when it comes down to it, it is the worst thing to have to say, but we are paying for it because it is just an increase across the board. We are noticing over 15 to 20% more to fix vehicles.
Right. It's huge.
Labor costs have gone up. They have skyrocketed. The insurance companies need to pay for these losses.
Right.
And the only way to do that, there was an offset before to where this rate with this many clients supported this much for a roof replacement.
Right.
Now,
this much for a loss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now it just doesn't.
Yeah.
The numbers aren't correlating, so they need to catch up with the market.
Yeah.
And it has been honestly a very, very, very big pain point for us because We have not seen these increases. You see 3, 5, 6%.
Yeah,
That's
normal.
average.
Yeah.
We're seeing things in 30 to 40% range.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. Especially for somebody who maybe hasn't had a claim, or, if their claim is small, it's just craziness, because as somebody who's insured, you're just like, why? I haven't done anything. Why is my rate going up,
And it's not easy for anyone to accept.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a claim. My personal homeowner's insurance,
Yeah.
I just got my renewal and it went up 43%.
Oh my gosh.
No claims.
Yeah.
It's a tough pill to swallow, even for myself in the industry.
Yeah. Even though you understand completely why it's happening, it's still because life is expensive right now. So adding another cost is awful, but you don't really realize how much you need it until something happens. And then if you don't have it, you are screwed. Whether that's commercial, business owners, personal, it doesn't matter. If you have something come up and you're not covered for it, you're gonna be a lot less happy than just paying that premium.
Exactly.
Yes.
And there were a lot of companies out there that were, and you can't say everything, but when it comes down to it, there are a lot of companies out there that were trying to minimize the increases through the years of 2019, 2020, 2021, whenever all these prices were increasing. They were trying to minimize it, thinking that it was going to even out. And then it just never did.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing the catch up from that.
Yeah, and it took a little bit longer for, I think in 2021, 22, when all the prices started, rising, groceries, gas, all those things, insurance took a little bit longer to catch up, because it's a different type of market than, it's not the same supply chain, it's not the same. So, and it's very interesting, because it's different, but it's because of all those things and other things like the natural disasters. Like we've had, these historic weather, it's just craziness. It's a bunch of different things that have added up to this,
It is. I mean, we've seen more wind claims and more hail claims in the state of PA than I think you'd have to look back a long ways to find something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The state of Florida is even worse, but I mean, when it comes down to it, obviously we're based out of the state of PA, so that's where we want to focus.
Yeah.
But we have seen so much more across the board it's been roof claims more than anything. That is what we're seeing, and these carriers cover roofs for replacement cost.
Yeah.
So they're replacing a roof due to a hail claim that's 28 years old.
Yeah. That needed to be replaced anyways within the next 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we kind of talked about that. Remind me, I know they're now the insurance companies are kind of changing it. If it's 15 years, if your roof is 15 years or younger, it's replacement cost. But now if it's over that, it's different.
There are different carriers for different things. That's what we kind of went over there. That was one specific carrier.
Yeah.
There is one that, and you never want to go through names, because you want to just make sure that whatever premium works out the best, that's the one I'm going to go over. But yes, carriers are making many, many, many adjustments. So we're looking at some that are doing 15 years and newer. You're good. We're going to do replacement cost. Yeah. You're locked into replacement cost then too.
Yeah.
So you're not going to lose that. There are some that are doing 20 years and newer, and you're good with photos provided.
Yeah.
There are some that are doing 15 years and newer, and then after you get to a 15-year mark, they are slowly depreciating what they're going to pay out. All these carriers are having different solutions come out.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. We're here to go through it with you and tell you, here's 3 different quotes. Here's how the loss settlement options are working on these 3 different carriers. And if one is better than another in your mindset, then that's the way we go. Maybe you wind up paying a little bit more for it, but at least you're covered the way you want to be, because every carrier is taking a stance on different ways that they are handling these.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good to know. Okay. Changing speeds a little bit. Tell me what you like about working at Duncan and just what you enjoy about your job.
So my job here, the best part of it is I don't want to single out anyone. The personal lines department is the best place that I've been in a long time. They are the manager of the department, the coworkers, everyone is absolutely incredible. They take you in, they really show you the ropes. They go through everything. Being a new employee within Duncan within the past 3 years, I would never have been able to skyrocket and do the things that I do without the support and everything that I had down there from the coworkers and management in the department. It's been incredible. And Yes, I did obviously just say the personal lines department. It has not
Yes.
just been the personal lines
Yeah.
department. David Lang works in commercial lines. I mean, I come up here, I'm able to come up to any place throughout this agency and I can talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I can talk to anyone. I can go through anything. You can pick up the phone and you can call anyone across the board. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And just have a conversation and go through it. We work so well as a producer team.
Yes.
Across all of our lines of business. I can call anyone up in personal and private wealth management. I can call up to commercial lines. I can call over to our group benefits department or our personal benefits department and just get an answer of a client or get a feeling on a client that I'm about to reach out to.
Yes. Or those referrals, like our referrals are amazing. Like, you know, we want to help. And what's awesome about our company is that we have all these different lines of business. And, you know, you hear you're doing personal insurance and you hear that, you know, maybe they have assets they're, you know, really need protecting and they need a different financial advisor. We can help them there. They own a business. We can help them with their commercial insurance. So what's unique about us is that we can refer within.
We can, and and you never have to send it out.
Yeah.
It is very nice to have that. It's extremely nice to sit here in the position that I'm in and have confidence in where I'm sending.
Yes.
There are a lot of companies that can say, oh, well, yeah, we can do that or we can do this.
Yeah.
I can specifically tell you a name of someone that I am going to have call you.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that they're going to do just as good of a job as I just did.
Yes.
For you. They're going to do it just as well, if not better, than I did.
And you can rest easy knowing that your client is taken care of. You know, they're not going to call you like, who the heck did you send me to? You know, they're being taken care of, which is awesome.
I do.
That's great.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a great atmosphere that we have, and it's a very nice place to sit down and build roots in because there are those people across all lines of business that you can build that circle with to really help everyone that is within your book of business.
Okay, last question for you. If somebody was watching this and they were thinking about switching to Duncan, what would you say to them?
So if you're thinking, I'll take it the same way that I say it to my friends.
Yeah.
Because sometimes friends and family are the hardest ones to get to come over. But if you are thinking about moving insurance or just taking a chance and making a phone call and seeing if there's something better out there for you. The reason to call here is because we can do it from start to finish. So you come in as a younger person like myself, even younger than me, 21, 22, 23 years old, to where you're just starting out. You're buying your first home. You just got out of college, so you have student loan debt.
Yeah.
We can do everything. You are going to walk in the door. You're going to meet me. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put together an insurance package that's going to work great for you right now.
Yeah.
That is going to ever evolve down the road. But we have the ability and the new carriers and everything like that to evolve with you. And on top of that, I can send you up to someone in a different department that can take care of those student loans to cover you for it. They can take care of your future children.
Yeah.
They can take care of your financial planning too on that end to make sure your family that you're building is going to be okay if heaven forbid something happens to you. And we can help you plan for your future.
Yeah.
So eventually you don't have to come into work every day.
Exactly.
That is the reason why I recommend Duncan to anyone. It does not matter what phase of life you're in or what thing concerns you the most. We're going to be able to find the answer for you.
Yeah, we can take care of you. I love that. Thank you so much, Tyler, for joining me. We didn't mean to match, but we did. We're on the green side today.
That wasn't bad. We did good.
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in to Discover the Duncan Difference podcast. We drop 8 a.m. every Monday wherever you find your podcast. We will see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.